All right, hello, how's everybody doing? Great to be back. Today we're going to be working on a couple scales. We're going to be working on our D scale, D major scale, and our E flat major scale. There's a little exercise there with each of them. And what we're going to do is not a new piece of music this week. We've been doing a lot of new pieces of music, so today we're just going to work on a couple scales. And what I think is best is that you guys go back to some previous videos and work on some of the pieces of music that we've already done. So maybe that's, I'm blanking, In the Hall of the Mountain King, Simple Gifts, something like that we've already worked on a bit. Go back and check those out. Make sure you've got those down. And get yourself up to speed. And we're going to work on these two scales today. So we're going to start with D. And the D major scale has two sharps, and you can see what they are in the key signature there. It's going to be C sharp, so low C sharp is all three valves down, and you kick your trigger out here if you can. And then the C sharp in the staff, the higher one up, is just the first two valves. Right? So a D major scale has C sharp in it, and then it also has F sharp, which is our first valve, or sorry, not first, our second valve, when it's in the staff there. The low F sharp is 1, 2, and 3. We're not playing that in this exercise, but it is good to know that the low F sharp is 1, 2, and 3. All right, so let's just read the D major scale here. I'll turn a metronome on. All right. I'll just play it once, and then I'll have you guys join me in after that. All right, so now I'll have you guys join me, so get your trumpets up, play along. And 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, nice job. So now, if you got that scale down, you got it under your fingers, you didn't miss any notes, that's great. Go ahead and move on. If you didn't get that scale, like every single note perfect, we want to make sure we have that scale down before we move on. So if you haven't gotten it, it's okay, but just go back into the video and just practice that scale a few times and make sure you have that scale down. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and then back down. All right, so if you've got that, go ahead with me and move on. We're going to start at measure 4 here, and we're going to go to the end. I'm going to turn the metronome back on. All right. Make sure the water's clear out of your trumpet. And I'm going to switch my mic over so the trumpet sounds better, and I'll conduct us to start. 1, 2, 3. All right, if you got all the way through that, no problem. Great job. I did realize when I was reading it through, there's an extra measure of rest there in measure, what is that, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is a measure of rest there that's not supposed to be there. So I just ignored it there. If you can see the rest of the pattern is all the same, so I just went over that. But if you happen to take an extra time there, that's my fault. I didn't take that rest out there. My bad. So just ignore that rest. If you didn't get it all done that time, it's a difficult exercise. Just go ahead and try it a couple times. I'm sure you guys can get it. But yeah, that's going to be a great exercise to really help you get those fingerings down through all the ranges of that scale, down from the low stuff up to the higher stuff in that scale. All right, and once we're done with that, let's go on to E flat. And this is pretty much the same exercise, but we're going to be doing it on the E flat scale now. And I'm already noticing in measure 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that measure of rest is, that extra measure of rest is there. So we're going to be skipping, we're going to be skipping that when we get there. Just to note, we're going to skip over that measure of rest. It should not be there. But let's start at the beginning. Let's take a look at the key signature. So how many flats do we have? We have 3 flats. Those are going to be A flat, B flat, and E flat, which is the same fingering as E flat, except when you're in the higher register. So the E flat that's at the top, that top note up there, is just second valve. So don't worry about playing this for the high E flat. The high E flat's just going to be our second valve. But then make sure we also get our B flats in and our A flats. All right. Gonna turn a metronome on here. And I'll just play the scale for you once, and then as we do with the last one, you'll join in after that. Alright, and you saw I went E flat. Alright, so let's get those right fingerings and play with me. We're going to do it 2 times. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. All right, and as we did with the D major scale, we're going to move on to 4, or measure 4, the next exercise, only if you've got that one note for note. So make sure you get all the notes correct in that. If you're missing any notes, keep playing the scale and keep working on the scale until you have all those notes nice and evened out. If you need to slow it down to get the notes, slow it down. You don't always have to practice it at a fast tempo. I think this is a pretty good tempo though. All right, let's move on to the next exercise. I'll count it off and just play along with me. Remember, we're skipping that extra measure of rest in the middle there. 1, 2, 3. All right. If you made it through all that, congratulations. That's great. We got our scales down. We will be adding new scales as we go. But for this next week, I want you to focus on these two, E flat scale and the D major scale. These exercises are great, help you get those under your fingers, and the goal is to get this with 100% note accuracy, so we're not missing any, not playing any wrong notes in there. All right, and as you can see right down there, please join the Google Classroom. I'll be able to post like PDFs, music, stuff on there, little exercises and stuff like that. So please do join. There's the code right, where is it? Right there. Right there. Please join. All right, I'll see you guys later.